Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the stream where it's gonna be very apocalypse themed, purely because I read The Road recently, and I am gonna make it everyone's problem in my entire personality from now on. Oh god, my camera's broken again. Fuck. Also, Noob says I'm applying to jobs. Oh my god, dude. Okay, there's been something in the air recently because everyone I know has been jobless for like, granted I work in the entertainment industry, so it's a little bit but work in the entertainment industry. My actual day job is in something entirely different. Let me fix this camera real fast for those who are watching on Twitch. But there are people I know who have been, you know, out of a job for like a year, people who have been like interviewing left and right, who've had promising interviews only to have it like fucking rug pulled under them last second. It's been really fucking depressing. Honestly, I wouldn't even know what I would do if I lost my job at this point. I wouldn't even take my chances with the job market the way it is. Cheese Prof says you gotta go to Jobland to pick up a job from the jobby trees. Jobby sounds like such an insult. It also sounds like a British term for like, God, what are they? Don't they have like, they call people tradies there, don't they? Hi, Elijah, saying what's up from New Jersey. Hello, hi everyone. I'm back on TikTok. Surprisingly, they actually let me back on. So if you're watching on TikTok, hi, hello, good to see you. If you're watching anywhere else, great to see you guys as well, especially those over on Twitch. It's just easier for me to watch those streams. So hopefully, let me see if I can filter every. Okay, I got it all set up. It's been a while since I've done a normal stream. Let me fix this camera too. Jesus. Properties. Deactivate. Activate. There we go. Okay, should be better. Great to see you guys. And also, good to see all the new subscribers and returning subscribers again. Ippy21 resubbed with Prime for 21 months. Very on par, very on point. Vault Dweller 0011 also resubbed. Hey Vault Dweller, how's it going? Let's see. Angel Lover, hello. And Ashton says we love TikTok. We love TikTok when they don't ban me for saying dumb shit, like talking about the fact that I'm doing a giveaway for charity. And then they call it gambling. Anyway, Yamix said, why did TikTok not let you stream? They just thought that I was talking about gambling, when in reality I was talking about a raffle for the Cult of the Lamb game I was doing, and then also talking about giveaways for the sake of like the charity stream that we did, which was monumentally popular and did amazingly. We actually breached all of our goals for Doctors Without Borders last week. So if you guys join the Discord, it's in my bio if you're not watching on Twitch right now, but if you're on Twitch, use exclamation mark, I can talk, Discord. And if you go to the announcements channel, you can apply to win one of a bunch of different prizes. So that's something it's no purchase necessary. It's not gambling or anything like that. Firebird, hello. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Good to see you. And then Clown Prince says, all hail the leader. Hello. Baltimore says TikTok has been weird since it was sold. It has been weird. I think there's just like, I don't know. There must be some degree of transition inside TikTok's like fucking corporate headquarters or whatever the fuck, where they don't know, the hierarchies get all fucked up and people don't know who to turn to when things go wrong with the algorithm and things like that. And so it gets a little iffy. But Notster says Diana's in the all-white outfit now that Sunday. It's not Sunday's Chains of Asmodeus. Hey, I've worn this on Chains. I've worn it before. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I also just recently remembered it existed. I stopped wearing it for a while. I can't remember why. New BCC says, I think they just fired all the engineers. Dude, wasn't that massive fucking issue caused by the Cloudflare outage, like something where someone just flipped a wrong switch, or they relied on AI code and no one could fix it because they didn't know what was wrong because they relied on AI to do it? I don't know. Lucas says my lemon tattoo consultation is Thursday. Might have that done in the next couple weeks. Dude, that'd be sick. I'm so excited to see how that goes. And Nasser says, so is it that you're trying to avoid repetitive outfits? Yes. I only have so many all white outfits, and also the bit's gotten old and I wasn't expecting the campaign to go on for 30 plus episodes, so I was like, I think I can let it go now. But yeah. Perks, hi, says Ola. Did you change your color? Oh no, the color on OBS is different for your name. It's like lime green. Oh yeah, and then Angel Lover says, I'm 99% sure that was actually a cyber attack. Dude, speaking of cyber attacks and things like that, I talked about this a little bit on YouTube, the YouTube stream recently. We were talking about apocalyptic scenarios and apocalyptic books and things like that. I've been so looking for, I read, oh my god, what do you call it? The Road recently. And it's a very quick read. Cormac McCarthy, man, that guy's comma key never got any action, let me tell you. But it's a quick read if you kind of like ramble over the stuff where he's just rambling, which again is part of his MO. He's a writer, he's an artist, he can write however he wants to, and I get that that's part of it. Hi Micah, how's it going? And then Novice says, my name is Jarek. I'm going from a novice to professional dungeon master in 365 days. Honestly, I believe in you. You'll need less than that. You'll be doing great. Oh yeah, Raz the Beard says, I Am Legend is a classic post-apocalyptic book. Easy to read and famously way better than the movie. Okay, I just saw a video about this today. Oh man, okay. I Am Legend. I don't know if you guys have seen the Will Smith movie. I'm assuming you have. I saw it like 20 times in Spanish once when I was down in Mexico because they didn't have any other CDs. It was Will Smith and it's his dog and it's like oh my God, we're tramping through the wilderness and we're trying to survive this onslaught of, you know, functionally zombies, but with more powers and more strength and things like that. Apparently people watched that movie and didn't realize that they were supposed to be vampires. But yeah, the monsters, as written in the book, are vampires. And they are like quite literally in the book, they're cognizant, they can speak. They actually try and lure the main character out of his house day after day by like standing out in his yard and yelling at him and being like, hey, come outside and fight me in person. The women of the vampires try and like seduce him and things like that. Yeah, sorry, we're talking about I Am Legend here. For those who just joined. Also, hello to SD Man. Thank you so much for the sub. Saying my 2-month-old subscribed. He wins youngest sub. Fuck yeah. I mean, hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah. You go, 2-month-old. You should take your parents' credit card more often. But so they try and like lure the main character outside. The main character is quite literally just like stuck in his house every single night. He actually gets so annoyed by how much they're yelling at him to come outside that he like has to soundproof his entire house. Because as far as he's concerned, he's the last man on Earth. And honestly, the yells of the women outside are getting kind of tempting. And so he puts up mattresses, he like blocks out the sound, and he spends the nights basically drinking himself half to death. He doesn't even have a dog in the book. He has a little bit of a dog. It doesn't last long. But he tries to tame like some local random wildlife. Carvel Snarky, hi, welcome in. Thank you so much for the sub. We're talking about I Am Legend and how bullshit the movie was compared to the book. Because in the book, eventually, a like female vampire like basically tricks him. So the survivor, I believe that's in the movie, that's a vampire. That's one of them. And he like, she's stronger than the rest. She's not resistant to garlic and to crosses and all that sort of stuff. Crucifixes, rather. She actually can walk up and he believes that she's another survivor, but she's like, don't test my blood, don't test my blood. And he's like, well, I have to. And she resists it for so long, he just kind of gives in over time. Eventually, she like tricks him into... Fuck, I think she like hits him over the head with something. She like goes into his house, lives there for a couple days, and then knocks his fucking lights out, and then signals the rest of the vampires to come get him. And then the rest of the vampires hold him on trial because for all these years where he thought he was the last person on Earth, he's been going around while the vampires are asleep during the day and fucking like staking them in the heart and killing them. And so the vampires have formed this whole society and they're like, hey, we're the new like form of human. We're taking over the world. You're the last person alive. As far as we're concerned, you're a mass murderer though, and you're killing us for no reason. Also in the book, there are only vampires because of fucking, this is the craziest thing. It's psychosomatic. Hold on, they're supernatural beings. They can like, you know, they're incredibly strong. They're allergic to daylight. They can die from a stake to the heart, and they hate crucifixes and they hate garlic. But the only reason any of that happens, he tested their blood. Nothing actually reacts to crucifixes or garlic in the book. He's like, why the fuck do these guys hate it so much? Purely because of superstition. Where when these people like died or got transformed into these vampires, they believed that they were vampires, and they believed that vampires are supposed to like act fucking strongly and react strongly to garlic and crucifixes and all that. So they just started doing it. Cheese Prof said they're just LARPing. That's exactly it. They're just LARPing as vampires, and they did it so effectively that they built their entire society off of it, which is insane. Cashcal said, I too will die from a stake to the heart. I'm a vampire. So that's the thing. They kind of got like dusted, essentially. They like did this thing where their bodies would hold off, I guess, from air or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. Where normal weapons wouldn't work on them, but when their heart or some such shit was exposed to air through the stake, then it rapidly disintegrated their cells and it turns their entire bodies into ash. And it was definitely supernatural, and that's definitely not psychosomatic. But yeah, I don't know. Kristoff says the book sounds so much cooler than the movie. It is, because it's really this journey of this dude who's like fucking going stir crazy in his house by himself, lonely as hell, who has to, he goes out And he doesn't set up mannequins the way Will Smith does. I actually thought the mannequins thing was a really cool touch in the movie compared to the book. But he does go out into the world and he has to collect books on certain subjects like medicine to try and teach himself how cell biology works in order to teach himself how to do these tests in order to run tests on the vampires and try and find a cure. Spoiler for a movie and a book that came out in God knows who fucking how long ago. Who fucking knows how long ago, rather. That it doesn't work, and obviously he dies, but his end sentence is like, oh my god, I'm legend to these guys the same way vampires were legend to us. Like, vampires have been long extinct for human society, but for these new vampires, humans have been long extinct, and I'm the last one surviving, and I'm their boogeyman, essentially. Like, I'm their, I don't know, demon coming after them. So, yeah. Anyway. Astronomist says, without spoilers, what did you think of Iron Lung? I haven't seen it. Although I can respect the fact that Markiplier is single-handedly saving AMC movie theaters right now, given that they're in a fucking spiral induced by $17 popcorn and a $20 soda, because fuck you. Yeah, I honestly think theaters probably deserve to die after a certain point, or they need to twist their niche entirely into like cozy theaters that are smaller and don't take as much shit, the same way that what's the one down in Austin? That theater that it's like they yell at you for using your phone, whatever that is, they need to start doing stuff like that where it's like somewhat unique and not crazy expensive, where they serve food and things like that. Like, I love my local theater at McMinimans because they'll full on bring you burgers and the best fucking tots known to man, chat. Oh my god, they're so good. And they'll bring it to you. You have like couches and all that sort of stuff. Way less seating, but I'm kind of here for it. Valtora said I like movie theaters that have food. Yeah, exactly. Like, what else am I gonna eat at a normal theater? $70 worth of popcorn, which is what, this much? And then a boozy milkshake that costs me an entire mortgage worth of money? Absolutely cannot. Jardin says I love the Cajun tots. I can't handle the spice. I can't handle the Cajun tots. If they do Parmesan tots, oh my god, take all my money. You could charge me more than the Cajun tots. I don't care. Da Vinci also says if someone figures out how to make movie theater popcorn, it's over for them. They sell it in bags. I'm pretty sure you could, like, hold on. I'm pretty sure you can go and buy movie theater style popcorn in several different varieties. Yeah, Pop Secret, Orville Redenbacher, you handsome man. They have so much of it. That being said, it's not quite the same. I think there's got to be some sort of copycat recipe where you actually take proper melted butter. You just like cut it with high fructose corn syrup. You mix it in. There's got to be a way. Isabel says they sell them in Costco. Really? Are they actually good? Oh man. Okay. Ken over on YouTube says McMinimans is great, and Bree says your hair is so pretty. Oh my god, thank you. I haven't washed it or brushed it. It does this weird thing where if I like brush it back, it just kind of looks messy. I have to like paste the curtain bangs back into place. I'm working on it. RM Gamer Nerd says, can you at least roll your R's? You fuckers know I can't. How dare you? Luigi Prime says you can buy the movie theater butter. Really? But you have to buy the butter set. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I just looked up at my search and I saw, I'm so sorry, Instagram, you're gonna have to go to Twitch or YouTube or literally anywhere else to see this. But yeah, they have, oh my god, the most fluorescent orange. This looks like antifreeze. This is the most fluorescent orange here. Instagram, I am gonna show you this because this is fucking funny. I don't know if I want to consume that. But it's butter flavored popcorn topping. You know why they call it butter flavored popcorn topping? Because it's not actually butter. They can't legally call it butter, and that's their fucking problem. Oh man. Valtroller says that's like 1% butter. At this point though, I don't care if it clogs my arteries. I'll die happy, and I'll actually have enough money left over from not spending it on popcorn to have a decent funeral afterward. So I'm kind of okay with it. There's so much other shit that I put in my body. I'm pretty fine with butter flavored popcorn topping with the worst branding known to man. I don't know. I like copycat recipes. Geek says I can't believe it is not butter. It's not even it's like I can't believe it's legally distinct from butter and 3 degrees removed at least. I can't believe that this vaguely orange fluid has never met the teats of a cow. Oh goodness. Let me see. There we go. Extend chat a little bit. Hollow of the Night. says, when you first got 50 subscribers, how long did you wait to live stream? I actually haven't started streaming until very recently on YouTube, actually. It's very much something that you don't really need a subscriber count for. You do need a following in order to really stream anywhere, unless you have something really powerful that is driving people to your channels, because discovery on YouTube and discovery on Twitch is famously bad, and they're aware of this. They're working on it. I'm not here to shit on Twitch because I actually really like their team and they're amazing and they're doing a really good job, but they are working on that discoverability thing. Until you have discoverability, you need to have an audience from somewhere else, and you have to filter them into your channels, wherever you want it. Katarina says, I saw the title. I would sacrifice myself so people would eat me. Here's the thing about people eating you. Sorry, hard left turn back into talking about the apocalypse and things like that. Dude, first thing I'm doing during the apocalypse, I'm robbing the hell out of the nearest movie theater and getting all that fresh popcorn before it goes extinct, let me tell you. The thing about you wanting to get eaten or something like that is that, like, people, if you don't do it very early on in the apocalypse, it's just gonna be torture. Because people are going to want to keep you alive. It's very much like the Walking Dead core, and they're not wrong. Same with The Road. They had scenes like this where they were keeping a bunch of people in essentially a basement. That is, yeah, I don't know. They were kept in a basement, and they kept like chopping off limbs one by one. Ugh. So it's, you got to do it real early on if you're going to have that be the case. But yeah. Oh, and then Espy, hello, welcome in. Sorry, I've got so many tabs open. Also, hello to Turtle Monkey, who has subscribed, having been subbed for 2 months. And then Soggy Doobie says, have you read World War Z? Yes. So, World War Z, infinitely fucking better as a book than a movie. The movie's great if you really like that sort of high action, nothing anyone's doing really kind of makes sense sort of vibe, self-sacrificial hero, that sort of thing. You just really like, what's his fuck? Who's the main character again? World War Z. It's not telling me. Oh, Brad Pitt. If you really like Brad Pitt, it's fine, I guess, but it's not a comparison to the book. They shouldn't have named it after the book. They shouldn't have like had it inspired by the novel. The real way that the novel works is it's not following one person as they're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse, and it's not like a tale of, oh my god, we have to find supplies, we have to find weapons, we have to get through these hot zones. Instead, the book is about a journalist who travels the world in the wake of the zombie apocalypse and basically investigates people and their roles in how humanity responded in different cultures and all this sort of stuff. He briefly talks about like a tribe down in the Amazon that was never touched by the apocalypse, but then he talks about how like Antarctic researchers, or there's this dude living down in Antarctica who sold like a fake cure to it, became rich and like basically fucked off to the South Hemisphere, the South Pole. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's so much better as a book, and it's such a masterclass in world building. As Z-Man says, World War Z audiobook is fucking fantastic. Mark Hamill is one of the roles in it. Oh my god, yeah, so it's 100%. Like, the entire book is just, every chapter is a new interview with someone else. And it's so good. It's so good. They even talk about some people who have been, oh my god. They even talk about people who essentially have this response to the zombies where they want to be a zombie, where they start like moving around, shambling everywhere. They start like chasing after people, and you can't, they dirty themselves up. They stop taking care of themselves to the point that you actually like cannot tell if they're a zombie or a human, because they're just like, something breaks in them and they start to pretend they're zombies. You can't tell that they're zombies versus human because they won't snap out of it. There's no amount of psychological like help that you can get them. They've tried capturing them and bringing them in for therapy or whatever their equivalent of therapy is. It doesn't work. They still think they're zombies. And after a certain point, the military is just kind of like, hey, we might just have to kill these guys as well because we can't tell the difference and they're destroying shit the same way. I think the only way to tell was like to check for a heartbeat or something like that. I can't quite remember. So yeah, Bauer says like Reavers from Firefly. I am unfamiliar with Firefly, actually. And Jeremy, also known as Internet Dad over on TikTok, says Hollywood needs to stop using names for clout. Literally some of the best things are inspired by. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like it makes sense for certain stories, right? Like if you're gonna do a Backrooms movie, you gotta name it The Backrooms. You're gonna do a movie based off of, oh my god, what's that new book? Oh, it's newish. It's like about a little girl who sees an other mother. It's like a horror book. Who the other mother like pokes out of closets and wanders around the house, and it's supposed to be like one of the scariest books that Book Talk recommends, for whatever that's worth. but they're making a movie based off of that. Not Coraline, but I know it sounds a lot like Coraline. Anyway, yeah, no, they really do need to stop doing that. Let's see. Oh, SC Man says, yeah, he was the soldier role, talking about all the big battles. Oh my god, yeah, they had a lot of people talking about specifically like the types of ammunition that they would have to use against zombies and how everything they knew about war was changed because in the past you could shoot someone literally anywhere neck down and wait for them to bleed out and be fine. You could use chemical weapons, anything like that. But when it came to this, you had to conserve ammunition and just like go wave after wave of fire and then fall back and reload and then fire and fall back and reload and then have people like moving in waves and taking single shot after single shot, or just like using gravity and dropping a bunch of shit on people from above. There was like a huge, oh my god, a huge like resource issue. They talked about all the realism of it, and that's what I really like, and that's why I like The Road, is because they spend so much time talking about like the day-to-day shit that they would have to do to survive. In The Road, the guy actually, the main character, the man who's never named, he does this thing where he takes his pistol and he only has one shot left, but he basically like takes a little chunks of wood and whittles them down to be bullet size. He has a revolver and he whittles them down to be bullet size and then sticks them in as perfect fits in the chambers. And so that way and he paints them black and stuff like that. So up close, it still looks like that he still has like 6 rounds or more in order to scare people, because only having one bullet, people were gonna take their chances. So that sort of stuff is really cool. The fact that he like, oh my god, the guy like DIY'd so much shit in that book. I haven't read the movie or seen the movie yet, but I don't know, I like it a lot. Let's see. Soggy Dooby. That's my favorite part of that book, is when they describe them shooting to the beat of Metallica. Yeah, oh my god, they start putting on like heavy metal music and like rock music in order to motivate the people to shoot like and stay motivated and all that sort of stuff. Jake says, please read Chronicles of the One. It's a modern post-apocalyptic meets fairy smut. I'm never a big fan of fairy smut vibes, to be honest. I find it just kind of cheesy. Why not just have normal smut? What are we shying away from that we need to hide it behind 2 pairs of glistening wings and then potentially 2 pairs of glistening other things, you know? Infernal, hello, says, hi, I see at the top cat supplies. Can you introduce the cat? I can't yet. I've genuinely this is something that I was thinking about doing, of just looking up for adoptable cats, Oregon, because everything in Oregon is a wait list. Like, you really can't, wait, what the hell? Here we go. Everything in Oregon is a wait list. You can't do anything without waiting the longest fucking time. And so I was considering going through and like looking at potentially adoptable cats and being like, cat, what do you think about this little guy? But to be honest, by the time I get the supplies I need, it's gonna be a very long time between that and getting accepted and all this sorts of stuff. Some of these guys look so cute. Look at the buttermilk over here. So yeah, point being, I don't have a cat in mind yet, specifically because I'm just gonna adopt whatever comes around, but I also need supplies first. So we're saving up for supplies. I got a decent amount. I got a pile in my living room of things, actually, which I'm excited to finally unbox when I get the chance. There's like a full-on cat tree that needs to be assembled still. Ruin the Gamut says, hello. If you liked the interview style in World War Z, you should check out the Themis Files series by Sylvain Neuvel, a cool sci-fi story about discovering giant metal robot limbs buried beneath the earth. Ooh, does it turn into War of the Worlds? Or is it just like full on the science behind it? I'd be down either way. That sounds cool. Anything that has to do with like, hold on, is there like a list of post-apocalyptic novels? Novels. Apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic fiction. Close enough, I think. The apocalypse event may be climactic, such as runaway climate change, natural, such as an impact event, man-made, like a nuclear holocaust, medical, such as a plague or virus, religious, such as the rapture or great tribulation. What the fuck is a great tribulation? I don't know. I hope they're enjoying their tribulations, though. Or imaginative, like the zombie apocalypse or alien invasion. Yeah, okay. So I like stories like that, but I like the realism. And like the fact that in The Road they don't even talk about what the fuck happened is interesting. They straight up, I think the guy is just like, God, the only mention of it is that there's a bright flash outside and the dude wordlessly gets up, goes to the bathroom, plugs the bathtub and starts running the water to fill a bathtub. And his wife is like, what are you running a bath for? And he's like, I'm not because he was saving up drinking water because he knew it would shut off eventually. Like that sort of shit. Oh my god, and fucking oh my god, this is an elite game, and I'm so sad that I haven't been able to play it in so long. Project Zomboid. It is such a good post-apocalyptic, like, zombie apocalypse simulator that I fucking love it. I kept doing runs, essentially, where I would gather enough supplies to subsist for a little while, and then I'd just get bored and then wander outside the shelter and then die because I was dumb. And that's honestly pretty realistic, too. Luigi Prime says, ooh, Project Zomboid is so great. It is! Let's see. Hi, Lorraine, over on YouTube. And Merkhair says, to go back to a previous topic, is it true that Flavicool is a theater popcorn additive, making it taste the way it does? I have not heard that word before. It sounds sciencey, though. Let's see. Fired Clay says an omniscient reader's viewpoint in the apocalypse. I never liked the concept of omniscience. I also never liked the concept of whatever the fuck Stephen King does in his apocalypse to make it so that someone suddenly develops powers. Fuck that kind of apocalypse, dude. I hate it. It ruins a realistic apocalypse story. I want the gritty realism. I want to hear like a play-by-play of people going through every single house and every single shelf and like how they're building their bases and things like that. I love that sort of stuff. I don't like the weird thing where people just get powers and all of a sudden become a manifestation of good versus evil or some shit. That's fine for some people. That's not my vibe. Which is probably also why I don't like the fairy shit, potentially, but I'd have to give it a shot. I'd have to try and see. Let's see. Clockwork J says, yeah, Flavicool is the flavoring that they use during the cooking process, and it's yummy, people are saying. Oh, okay, gotcha. Luigi Prime also says, yeah, me and two friends are holed up an entire shop, and we have survived for a while. Dude, if you had to choose a location for, and I know there's some obvious answers, but I feel like there are some that maybe people are thinking of that other people might not have thought of yet. If you had to choose a location to hole up in and to turn into your base, like the fucking prison in The Walking Dead, or the farm in The Walking Dead before it got overrun by zombies, or the prison in The Walking Dead before it got overrun by zombies, or literally any location in The Walking Dead before it got overrun by zombies, or like the mall, like in Day of the Dead, or, oh my god, in The Mist, where they took over that grocery store. The Cheese Prof says Eton College. A college specifically is a very good fucking option. Especially because you could have, oh wait, Cheese Prof says Windsor Castle. That's actually a way better fucking option. So, Jesus. Child screaming outside. I'm getting too on edge. This is, someone says the Mall of America. I feel like the Mall of America is just too much ground to cover though, you know? Let's see. And then Brian Rose says, I just watched The Road. It was great and terrible. Oh wait, how was it as a movie? I might watch it here soon. Because I just finished the book like 2 nights ago. Also, hello to all the new followers over on Twitch. We have Killer Peppy, Kui, we have Dr. Gibbert, George Taylor, E-Seal, Eat, Play, Roll, RoadTube, Fired Clay, Ashier, HSB, K-Splains, The Uriverse. Holy shit, The Uriverse? Soggy Doobie, Ruin the Gamut. Hello. Hi to all you new followers. It's good to see you. Run the Gamut says 28 years later, they have an island with a single land bridge that can only cross in low tide. Yeah, it kind of depends. The thing about the islands, though, is like it's not ultimately that fortified if something gets in. It's very hard to build safeguards unless you have several layers of wall, which I'm not saying they couldn't do, but at the same time, if you're on an island, inherently you have a lot of issues. And this is something that comes down to biology, right? You have a limited pool of biodiversity that you can work with. Islands are actually used as like examples of how things began to can either get wiped out incredibly quickly by, for example, if one loose cat fucking runs around on the island, all of a sudden you don't have rats and a food system collapses, you know? I don't know, where islands are a little bit sketchy, and it's cool in theory. And it's safe in theory. But I think also it depends on if the zombies can just like wash up on shore too, you know? Let's see. Oh, Angel Lover says like a repurposed cruise ship. That's a good one. That's a solid one. I'm a little worried about how non-functional cruise ships are though. It's like the same thing as hotels where it's just a lot of space devoted to people sleeping in their sleeping quarters. But like, what about resources, you know? Luigi Prime says the mall in Day of the Dead. Yeah, a mall is like kind of what I'm leaning towards as well. Not so big as the Mall of America. Auntie Caleb says a prison could be pretty good for defense. Oh, it definitely would be. A prison would be amazing. And I guarantee that they have so many security measures in place. They probably have like backup generators. The only thing that I can think of that would be potentially better is maybe a college, only because the college would have so much education already, and it would have resources for all sorts of different departments. If you needed to, you know, patch someone up, they have a hospital on campus. If you needed to like learn a thing or two about medicine in order to do some serious work, they have textbooks fucking everywhere. All that sort of stuff I think would be really cool. But yeah. Yeah, Bloomda. That's even if they got literally whisked away by the water and then tossed there, you do have zombies all of a sudden. Yeah, that was a thing in Plague Inc. Back when that game was fun to play before we actually had a plague during the COVID era. I played that in high school. It's a fantastic mobile game. I remember when it was free. I don't know if it's free anymore, but one of the things that you could do is you could play a zombie variant of the game where instead of trying to cure a global pandemic, you were the cause of it, and the global pandemic was zombies. And there was this upgrade that you could buy. Your goal was to like take over the entire world, right? And there was this upgrade that you could buy where your zombies would become extra bloated as a result of like a chemical reaction that occurred if you were a bacteria-based, you know, plague. And they would you know, as a consequence of that, they would float. And when they floated, you could fucking reach Greenland, you know? And all those other like islands, the Caribbean and all that sort of stuff, way more easily. Even if people had closed their borders entirely and weren't letting infected people through, they could just float onto shore and cause a problem. Osmotic Ferocity, welcome in. Same with Dark Surge, good to see you. Oh my god, there's also some hydrates that I never took, whoopsies. Osmotic Ferocity says, IKEA is definitely my zombie apocalypse spot. I feel like it'd be fun. I feel like it'd be good for your sanity and for your mental health to hole up in an IKEA, but I also feel like, I don't know, again, it's just like, can't really do much with it. It's fortified insofar as like any other warehouse would also be fortified to the same degree, and it would have a lot of hiding spots and a lot of furniture, and you would have plenty of blankets and things like that, but like the fucking, I mean, I guess they do have a decent amount of food too. I don't know, I'd have to think about that. It's not a bad option. But I feel like if you're gonna do that, you may as well just hole up in a hotel. You know, and a hotel, again, it's a lot of room dedicated to just people sleeping. It's a lot of room dedicated to just like nothing, and it's gonna be really hard to convert that into like a livable situation, you know? Archangel, hello. And then Lino says, man, Plague Inc. really did teach us all that no, we absolutely wouldn't stay the fuck inside. Yeah, God, tell me about it. But Gustavo, hello, thank you so much for the sub with Prime over on Twitch. It's good to see you again. Saying, in an apocalypse, I just stay locked inside my house, because houses around here are really well protected. So that's going back to what someone was saying about castles. That was something that they brought up in World War Z, where people were like looking at the European castles, like the old school ones, you know, the proper medieval ones, and using those as secure outposts. And they were like fucking the most secure places on planet Earth. I think that's a great concept. I went to a couple castles in Switzerland. They're just kind of stone. You'd have to do a lot of work on them, but like the proper castles that are not decorative back in the day that people had refurbished and turned into like, I don't know, museums or whatever, still gonna be pretty fucking solid. Angel Lover says, I'm gonna build a secret room in a library. Nobody will come to read books. Here's the thing, I was thinking if I heard that like a meteor hit the opposite side of the planet, there was a dust cloud coming to choke out all of our plants and all that sort of stuff. If I heard that was happening, first thing I'd do is run to the library or to a bookstore and grab whatever books I can on survival is the thing. Like amateur medicine, how to make like a basic water filter, how to do typical survival stuff. I actually was thinking last night, I was like, fuck, should I just buy a bunch of survival books and keep them in my car? I already have a bunch of camping gear in there because Oregonian, but I feel like books would be like the first thing that people would go for, right? Run the Gambit says, oh man, good point. No way a zombie is getting through the portcullis. Also, House Duggan, thanks so much for the song. It's good to see you. And then Soggy Doobie says, smort. Let's see. Yeah, Galaxy Fox says, yeah, I'm from Europe. We have plenty of old school castles here. Some are even still furnished. Yeah, I feel like it'd be cold if anything, but at the same time, like, I don't know, the ones that have been turned into tourist destinations but that haven't had their original stones, like, if anything, just fixed up. I don't know, I think it's cool. Neat Advisor says, hey, I just want to say thank you for a video you made a while back about using Magic the Gathering art to inspire D&D. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like it, holy shit. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad that you like that video. I honestly didn't realize how much of a hard turn I'd take into Magic the Gathering, like as a content creator as well, and talking about, like, I have so many cards here just sitting off to the side. Do you guys want to see my favorite ever lands? It's the Innistrad land. They're like the black and white ones with sometimes like colored borders, and yeah, they're super cool. Let me see if I can find a swamp, because the swamps are honestly really fucking solid. But they're so pretty, so amazingly pretty. Anyway, Lena says, I don't know, every time it snows here, everyone rushes out to buy toilet roll. It's weird. Yeah, I don't really... That was the dumbest thing ever, honestly. I think it was just a consequence of, like, people hearing somewhere that we would run out of toilet paper, and then, like, that turning into some sort of panic. Oh man, I don't think I have the cool... Oh, I don't have the cool swamps in here. That's okay, I can look it up in a sec. I have this one. I have a Phyrexian Plains, which is always fun. Let's see. Oh yeah, Angel Lover says Magic is so fun. I'm literally swapping cards in my deck right now while watching. Yeah, so I'm going out this weekend for a camping trip with friends. It's not really camping. It's like we rented a cabin out by a mountain around the Pacific Northwest, and a bunch of Pacific Northwest content creators are gonna get together. We're not gonna make content. We're just gonna like play games, including Magic and board games and like TTRPGs, things like that. And so I'm refining my Magic cards. I'm honestly, it's driving distance. I'm probably just gonna bring all my bulk anyway and refine it on the go as well, because I suck at Magic. That should be fun. Copaesthetic77, welcome in, and M-Perk suggested a poll saying, what is the best zombie apocalypse snack food? Beef jerky, Twinkies, snowballs, or pretzels? Oh, it would kind of have to be beef jerky, right? I don't know. Because the thing is, if you think about the activities that you're taking on day to day, right? Obviously, fats are going to be good for you. You need carbohydrates because that's basically all that your brain runs off of, and without them, you're gonna fucking hate yourself. But like beef jerky, do whatever fucking workouts you're doing, whatever training you're doing, it's not gonna amount to shit if you can't build up your muscles because you don't have enough protein, you know? So like that's gonna cause a problem. Luke says, oh my god, I just had a great idea. I'm gonna soak some old cheap Magic cards so they're pliable and basically make paper mache designs with Magic cards. I've seen it before. So the Wizards headquarters has a chandelier where the chandelier cover is made of a bunch of Magic cards, like kind of like attached together. I guess everyone and their mother who owns a fucking motorcycle is passing outside today while I'm streaming. Oh yeah, random NPC says I'd have to pick beef jerky just because it's got proteins and stuff. Also, at this rate, the apocalypse is the only reason, the only time that you're gonna get beef jerky at a reasonable price. Because isn't it crazy fucking expensive nowadays? I'm not a beef jerky gal. I get a craving for it like once in a blue moon where I'll eat. I want to have like the fucking, like the medieval experience of just biting into a hunk of meat and then like and then just chewing for like 3 hours. God, now I want beef jerky. Fuck. It's like $16 a pack though. I don't know. Let's see. Nostra says, have you added any new combos to your elf deck? Did you build your own commander deck yet? I did. I built my own commander deck a couple times now. I built a Vren, the Relentless deck. I upgraded the precon that DBCU gave me, the squirrel one, to a Chatterfang precon. I've been excited. I also have an Ulek precon that I've massively upgraded with some cards that someone didn't want, including an etched Kozilek, which is insane, and I definitely can't play it without making everyone hate me. But my Lathril deck, my elf deck, has gotten... I haven't added any combos yet. I'm really like narrowing it down to commander-based stuff before I start focusing on combos. So that's kind of my next step in my Magic the Gathering journey, where I look up what combos are cool and then learn how to work around them. Because as of right now, I'm just learning how to build a deck in general and making it work, and learning like fucking how many lands to have in a deck. So and learning to keep it really tight in with the commander's theme. So like obviously elves is the theme and all that sort of stuff. So that's the next step. Because you said all these deck themes just sounding like just a bunch of little guys. They really are just all Kindred decks, to be honest. Whoopsies. Space Duck says, have you gotten much into Daggerheart? Yes, so I'm actually doing a charity game for the Frontline Aid Minnesota, I'm pretty sure. Or Frontline Aid Rescue. I forget the I know it's Frontline Aid something. For over on, I believe, Talking XP's channel at an undetermined point in the future. In Daggerheart, and then I've also done, I'm doing a Daggerheart, like, not an actual play, a full campaign here soon, which is set in space. I've done a couple one-shots here and there. You should be able to find them in my link tree, I believe. Gustavo says, I love full art lands. My goal this year is to have a deck with only them. Dude, wait. Like 99 lands and a commander? Or like, just like all the lands are full art lands? I'm assuming you mean the latter. I'm dumb. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so Mercare says, wouldn't the attempt at survival by occupation of any building be for not without people? Oh, be for not without people. In the same vein, wouldn't people, and in essence cooperation, be one of the critical issues in survival? Yes, absolutely. I'm honestly, given the rate that society's fucking falling apart, relying on people as is, I don't think that it's gonna work out well, and I think it has to rely on mostly family-style communes, essentially, and kind of focusing on family structure, because I can't imagine you being able to trust anyone else, you know? Calamar says the secret layer Innistrad lands are nice. The cycle of 10 two-color lands. Desolate Lighthouse is one of the black and white non-basic. Dude, okay, if we're talking lands, hold on. This is, go to Scryfall, one of my favorites is definitely like the Duskmourn lands. That, Dusk. And, let's do type land. So they're so cool because they all have this like broken, these shattered windows, kind of like looking all fucked up. The ones on Lakeside Shack are all upside down. The ones in Murky Sewer have a bunch of ghosts leading out of them. The art for these is so cool. I don't know. I really liked Duskmourn as a concept. I really hope they do more stuff like this going forward in the future because I love the vibe. I like how horrifying it is. There was this card called Say Its Name, I believe, where if you fucking cast it 3 times, you summon a fucking giant monster called Altanac, I believe, which is like a Bloody Mary reference. And that's just so cool. I really like that sort of stuff. I don't know. And Jiro, thank you so much for gifting a sub to the community. Oh, and Bubble Bath wants me to hydrate. I could do that. But Lino says, I never got into Magic, but the idea of an only lands deck just sounds hilarious. So it is possible. I think it's like you could do 99 lands and then, oh God, I don't know. There's like one commander. There's a Tifa deck that fucking Smoking Glue Guns, Whitney, ran against me the other night. It was insane. It was a landfall deck, and her commander got like +2/+0, something like that, every single time that it fucking land entered that turn. And there were so many fucking forests in that goddamn deck. It was impossible to fight against. Gustavo says, but just to be clear, I meant only the lands would be full art. Yeah, I getcha. Okay. Oh, Tensor says the original Innistrad has a similar vibe too. Really? Wait, hold on. Set. INN, I think is Innistrad. Yeah, the original, this Innistrad. And then this is Scryfall, by the way. This is a site that I use. Sorry, Instagram. Scryfall is the site that I use to be able to keep an eye, like basically look at all of the art for different types of sets and Magic cards from basically forever ago. Leading up to the present, and it's super cool. You can search by set, you can search by type. So if I search type land right now, I should be able to get all of the lands, and then look at, how do I find a full art? I guess I could just go to the fucking island and then view all prints, and let's do all prints, unique art, yeah, that works. Damn. Oh my God, these secret layers are so fucking pretty. What the fuck is this? Oh, it won't tell me. By Kellogg's Loops? Kellogg's Loops. Basic lands by the same artist. Oh, they only did islands. Okay, damn, I was kind of hoping for like a full set of this style of like everything. This would be so cool. Also, hi Party Caboose, welcome in. How you doing? And Nonster says 371 minutes later. Marathon says Tifa's kill on site. Yeah, oh my God, fucking hate. I didn't realize. And she doesn't like stay fucking dead because she's such a cheap commander. It's impossible to deal with. Oh my God. But let's see. What was what were we talking about before that? We were talking about the apocalypse in general, I suppose. I don't know. I know that they're doing a secret layer for Lorwyn here soon, and they're like, for some reason, reasonably priced as opposed to what it used to be. I guess. I don't 100% know. Novark says, "Stay out of my algorithm." I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, and Galaxy Fox says, "As a newbie myself, I found out that making something you yourself enjoy is important. Yes, your players should have fun, but a GM should never forget that they are playing too. Yeah, exactly. It's honestly like, also it stops being fun for fucking GMs, then it's just not fun for anyone because no one gets to play, you know? Tensor says, oh no, she's found out how to sort by land on Scryfall. There goes her free time. I know, they're so pretty. Here's the thing, I also don't usually buy cards for their art. It's pretty rare. I buy it because I buy commanders and then I build decks around them if I feel like I'm confident that I have enough in both to do it without buying a whole bunch of extra stuff. So I don't spend that much money on singles. It's really just like, I don't know, I don't buy Secret Layers, but my god, I wish I had the fucking capital to, because it's so cool. Let's see, Secret Layer 2144. Oh god, how do I look? Secret Layer drop. Oh, this just shows all of them, which is still cool. Oh yeah, so it has the names as well. But this is them in order. Oh my god, the Soul Ring. The Soul Ring is so fucking cute. Sagi says they just did Fallout again. I'm excited for my cards. Yeah, so they did a new power armor, which is just a variant of the old power armor. Maximus, this fucking wedding dress is so cute too. I kind of like it. I never really got super into the Fallout series because I wanted to be able to get into the games first, know the lore, and I don't have time for that. So I just, by proxy, never really watched the, never watched the show either. Like the fact that Mothman was in here, I didn't realize that that was a Fallout thing. I just thought that it was like, I don't know, I just thought that it was like some sort of cryptid drop or something like that. Anyway, they have a bunch of them. They have a Monster Hunter one that I fully fucking forgot about. Oh my god, I don't think anyone I know talked about it that much, but they're just so cool because the monster designs are sick. Personally, I was a really big fan of, those are the Avatar ones. I didn't really care about those as much. Really liked, well, I guess like the Latin Celebration one. Jesus Christ, I forgot about the fucking Burby ones. Ugh. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dalmish says the Urza Saga Island 335 is the best one. Urza Saga. I don't think I've seen it. I don't know, I just like the ones that are by like certain artists, you know? Like this fucking Demonic Tutor. This is the female gaze. This is what it is. Also, Crawford Angel says, I didn't realize you streamed. I love your content on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and I hope you're enjoying stream. I am. I'm having a good time. Also, Mosio says, hi from Italy. Hello. And then Drew says, hi. Hello from YouTube. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. Let's see. Firebird says, I got into Magic briefly because they made a Doctor Who set. I currently have a deck built specifically to win via Gallifrey stands. I got it off once, and then no one will let me do it again. I'm not a super big Magic the Gathering fan though, so it's just a shelf trophy now. Dude, so I have a friend, Alex, who actually talked about it in my short form today. I played against him like once or twice. He has some crazy decks that are so unsuspecting, but automatically he could win within like 2 turns if he gets the right cards. And I know cards like that exist. I know decks like that exist. He says it's purely because he plays against like CDH players. I didn't, oh man, I was not familiar with how far that this game could go. It was honestly inspiring. I thought it was really cool to see. So, I don't know. Gustavo says, what about the Office cards? Oh my gosh, yeah, the Office ones are right here. Dwight's Destiny, which is insane. I have a friend who got the Dwight Schrute Hey King version of Heliod, and like, it's actually so fucking good. It's insanely good. But yeah, the 2 Recyclopses, the fucking Tragic Slip, which is insane. Yeah, I don't see many of these around super often, honestly. I mostly see like Ghostly Prison maybe, and then Dwight Schrute, personally. Yvette says, I'm building a rats deck and I'm super excited to be throwing waves of rats at people competitively. Yeah, and the rats are really cute. I don't know. Kylie says, do you like Pokemon? I do. I have a favorite Pokemon, but I don't know anything about how it's been recently and anything to do with like later sets. It's really not my thing. I don't play the video games and I don't really know anything about the lore, the anime, any of it, unfortunately. I don't have any of the cards except for the ones that people got me for Sceptile, my favorite Pokemon, the best boy. And let's see, give us, oh wait, no, Crawford says, I've been enjoying asking people this question, but I will be DMing and GMing my first ever D&D campaign this Wednesday. Do you have any advice or tips to make it a better experience for everyone? Ooh. I mean, it depends on what the campaign is. A lot of my advice really does depend on the tone of the campaign and what tools you're using. Definitely don't skimp on music, I will say that much. It gets really easy to zone out and completely get fucking like tossed out of the game mentally if there's not music in the background, so make sure there's music would be my big one. Lord Duffmeister, Numbskulls, C. Warworth, hi, hello, and Crawford Angels, hi, thank you so much for this, the follows, you guys. Party Caboose, thanks for the sub. And then Lit Cookies on 7 streams in a row. Welcome in. Let's see. Geek one says, I once played against the Brazilian champion in a Magic the Gathering event, and he beat my ass so spectacularly that I clapped for him. Here's the thing, I have so many friends who are at that, not that level, but who are really fucking good at Magic the Gathering, and I just feel bad playing against them because I don't want them to like beat me so strongly. I want them to at least have a fighting chance against someone. I don't know, like I feel like I'm in a completely different tier and it's just like boring for them, if that makes sense. Let's see, Crawford Angels, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Saying epic, thank you so much. Yeah, best of luck. And then Osmotic Ferocity says, also, Fallout 76 is big on cryptids, but that game isn't canon. It's in its own timeline. Really? Wait, that actually helps a lot. That's really good to know because I definitely would have just played it anyway. Firebird says, I don't have friends, or I have friends who are very big into the game, but I don't really want to be competitive like them because I don't want to get mean about it. So this was a thing I wanted to do for a while with my content creator friends who are all into Magic right now, is I want to get them all together to build a deck around some theme. I could throw out a theme night of like TV shows, and then they have to pick a specific TV show and then build a theme around it. Obviously The Office is too easy because of Secret Layers and things like that. But I could say like, build a wizard themed deck, you know? Or build a theme deck around a certain Dungeons & Dragons class. Also really easy because they release D&D stuff, but you know what I mean. And so like, people will do that quite a bit, but I want to do like a game night where there's no price limit, but if you cast a card, everyone else at the table gets to vote on whether or not it actually fits the theme. And if it doesn't fit the theme and you can't argue that it does, then it automatically gets countered. So, I don't know. I want to do stuff like that. Let's see. Also, how did my mic sound? Because I noticed during recordings, it sounds a little weird, and I don't know if that's just me. I'm doing like a special thing where I'm playing The Wolf Among Us, and I noticed that in edits, it like cuts in and cuts out a little bit, and so I think my muting, whatever it's called, is too high. Oh, okay, it sounds good to you. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy then. I don't know. Angel Lover. Does I introduced Magic to my group. I played a higher power in college and started an arms race when I taught my friends back home. Yeah, dude, the arms race of it is so crazy because it's like it's such a pay to win game, you know? God Revenant says, hear me out, Eldrazi. Exactly. Dude, my Eldrazi deck is literally called Hear Me Out. But yeah, I don't know. Nasser says there's no gating whatsoever. Okay, someone's gonna have to report back on the long forms that I'm doing then because it sounds really bad in the long forms. I don't know. Let's see. Doggy says proxies are amazing. Yeah, I don't really like proxies personally, but that's because I'm the type of person who needs to have everything very orderly and organized, and I can't, in my head, I can't play with the deck until it's finished and perfected. And then I'll just keep like playing that same deck over and over again until it's finished. And to me, it'll never be finished as long as there's a proxy in it, but that's just a personal thing. Other people can play with proxies against me all they fucking want. I don't know. Space Duck says, what do you think of having a D100 Fear Escalation dice / table for Daggerheart? I think it'd be a cool extra challenge. So I don't know a lot about Daggerheart, or at least I don't know enough to be able to comment on how well fear mechanics would work in it. I have more experience with D&D, but even then, not with fear. I would say, I think there should be some sort of counter. I don't know. I really don't know enough about Daggerheart, honestly. It's very much out of my range. I'm sorry. Oh, and Abraham says, has anyone successfully played against or made a colorless commander deck? I've been playing with the idea. Yeah, so I played against a Walls of Bossing Say deck last night where it had that helmet. I think it's called the Helm of the Host. It had Stuffed Doll. It had a Pariah Shield, and it had some sort of bulwark, some sort of artifact creature. There was not a single color in that deck, but it made it so that the Walls of Bossing Say could assign damage equal to their toughness. They lost Defender, all that sort of stuff. It was really cool to play against, honestly. It was the only thing that I've seen stand up to the Eldrazi deck. But Ninja Superman, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Space Duck says, this is why I got so far. See what you think. If it's a link, you won't be able to put it in, I fear. But Luke says, Diana confirmed, I can print out counter-stream proxies to gift to people. That's actually fucking funny. I think that'd be hilarious. But let's see. Tensor says, colorless is too easy. Mono snow is the way. Oh god, I don't see much snow stuff. But Let's see. Hey, Sotark says I'll be working with Apollo, the tall nerd. Yeah, Apollo's great. Apollo's an amazing player too. Oh my god. I would be recommending him for so much shit if he wasn't in Scotland and all the shit that I need is in person, I fear. But he's awesome. He's amazing. Abraham. Oh wait, I answered that already. Let's see. Soggy Doobie says Snow needs more support. I love those cards. Yeah, I mean, so let me see. That's a secret layer drop. Oracle. No. Here we go. Yeah, I feel like this would have to be kind of on theme. Where it's like snow-covered lands and snowlands, whatever the new term is like everyone has to build with them or else it just kind of feels weird. You know, same with like poison and toxic counters and things like that. You know, if you're not defending against it, it's a little bit weird. Borchi says, what game are you playing / discussing? Right now we're talking about Magic. I have also been playing Green Hell personally lately. It's really fun. Again, a survival game. I do really like survival games. I just don't have, there's just not a lot of them that aren't horror games or supernatural in some sense. I don't know. Lucas says I'll actually bring a few hundred Counter-Stream proxies to Gen Con to hang out. I'll probably be helping run the Magic stuff again this year. Don't hand them out in front of the Magic people or else they might get mad at me, is my only thing. But yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. I'm trying to get I emailed Gen Con earlier today to be like, hey, what do I have to do to get a signing booth and signing slot? And I'm concerned it might be invitation only, but if I can make it work, I'll make it work. Try and do some sort of signing. I'll actually bring something for people to sign this time because I've whoopsies. Didn't do that last time in Australia and I feel bad. Angel Lover says I have one deck for each 3-color combo. Bellathar is my Abzan big booty commander. Oh, and hey, Overthinker. Welcome in, saying I'm lucky. The Magic community is strong in Portland. Oh, and Perk says the forest. Yeah, so Green Hell is what I'm playing, and it's functionally the forest, but without all the spooky, scary guys. And instead, it's just normal-ass humans. And you do get to like build basically tree houses and shit like that. There's a jaguar that's been kicking my ass. And it's a realistic enough game in that it makes it so that you don't just have to track like food intake, for example, but you have to track intake of specifically every macronutrient. So fats versus carbs versus, oh, so Tarsus Apollo is Irish. That's right, Ireland, not Scotland. I'm getting confused with fucking Hannah, who's actually from Scotland. It's not an MMO, but you can play local multiplayer. Hi, always the DMs, welcome in. Thanks for the raid. And oh my god, Cheese Prop says, sign my child, I'll never wash them. I feel bad because I have people sign I sign people's PAX badges, and usually it holds up really well, but a couple people showed me that it actually started to wear off by the end of the day, and I was like, oh fuck, I use a Sharpie, I don't know, I'm so sorry. So whoopsies, but hi, always the DMs. We're talking about Green Hell, the video game, but we're also talking about apocalypse and survival scenarios in general. Geek says, I remember Green Hell. I don't balance my diet in real life, so I'm sure as fuck not gonna do it in a video game. Yeah, they make it kind of easy after a while. It actually gets a little too easy once you build a treehouse, and then like nothing can get to you, which I didn't realize, but I still enjoyed like the building and all that sort of aspect. So Jar says, at least you didn't say English. But the other game that I really liked the survival and building aspect of was, back in the day, fucking Conan Exiles, where you could go around, you could breed all these monstrous animals, and that was like an okay amount of fantasy that I quite enjoyed, and I liked the fact that you could go around to different parts of the map and build up your skills, and then eventually get to the point of kicking the ass of some oversized crocodile at a specific coordinate somewhere. So I like that sort of progression, but anything that's not too grindy and that has a degree of realism, I'm so here. So if you guys have Rex, let me know. That's not the forest, because I'm scared. I refuse. Afro Samurai says, I love Green Hell. Yeah. And then let's see. Abraham Spiker says, I've only gotten into Magic within the last 2 months. Can someone please explain what the deal is with snow-covered lands? They just have certain, snow is a type, you know? And it's just one of those things where there's certain cards that integrate well with snow keywords. You know, it's kind of like a divinity counter. It like doesn't mean anything on its own, but certain cards will give you bonuses depending on whether or not you have snow lands or snow creatures or anything like that. So like this card, search your library for a snow land and put it into play tapped, then shuffle your library. That's quite nice. All this sort of stuff. Some things scale with snow. It's like the same thing as if you had like elf cards, you know, it's just another keyword. Infernal says, what about Ark Survival? I actually never looked into Ark. Wasn't Ark super technology focused? Ark Survival Evolved. Yeah, anything with guns I'm not usually a huge fan of, because then I'm like, I prefer fantasy. Like the fact that it got into fucking Techno Tyrannosaurs was just a little bit weird for me. I might try it someday because I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it, but I also don't like MMOs so much. I like cozy local multiplayer games, to be honest. Geek says Conan Exiles is awesome. Yeah, dude, I wanted all the DLC so bad back in the day. I would have sunk so many hours into that game. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I want to go back to. I want to finish Green Hell, run through all of the Assassin's Creed games in order, including one. Run through all of the Witcher games in order, including one, and then get back into Conan Exiles when I have infinite free time. People Snarky says Dune Awakening is pretty fun. Yeah, so it's the same creators, actually. And oh wait, someone says Ark was mostly just taming dinosaurs over on Instagram. Damn it. Yeah, that's not really my thing. I don't know. But as far as Dune, it's the same creator as Conan Exiles, so you can actually hear a lot of the same sound effects, see a lot of the same UI sort of like stuff transferred into more of a modern futuristic setting. I just don't know anything about the Dune lore, and so I don't really get into things that I don't know the lore about, unfortunately. So if anything, that's the reason I haven't watched the Markiplier Iron Lung movie is A, feels weird to go watch a YouTuber's movie, and I wanted to see if it was good first before just throwing money at a YouTuber I like, but also B, I wanted to watch the original gameplay first, and then also by proxy read the original story first because Iron Lung is based off a book. The video game is based off a book, and then the movie's based off of, I think, also the book by proxy the video game, you know. Cosmetics says, so apocalypse or fantasy, but not mixed together. I have yet to see a lot of decent apocalyptic fantasy. I guess you could consider the, what was it called? The Time We Had? No, what was it called? There was a book about the moon getting closer to Earth. Life as We Knew It, yeah. So there was a book called Life as We Knew It, which was, I kind of consider it a little bit like fantasy science fiction-ish, only because this would never happen and this apocalypse scenario physically could not happen. But it's really cool. It's about and I talked about this on YouTube, so forgive me if you're watching on YouTube and you saw this already, but J-Max says one does not simply run through the Assassin's Creeds. Oh shit. Well, hey, I'll try my best. I'm excited. I really want to. I need to get back into the Assassin's Creed games. When they broke the fourth wall with Juno staring straight at the camera as opposed to talking to Ezio, oh my god, my fucking heart stopped. But Life as We Knew It is basically about it's this trilogy, I believe, a 3-part book series that was supposed to have 4 parts, but then they cut it down to 3 or something like that. And it's a young adult series, which is the only downfall. It's not quite adultish enough, especially compared to things like The Road. But in the book, there's like this cosmic event that happens that everyone goes and grabs telescopes for, everyone's excited for. It's like watching a meteor shower, right? And what happens is everyone's waiting because scientists said, hey, there's gonna be a meteor hitting the moon. How crazy is that going to be? Everyone watch because it's going to hit at this exact time. So everyone gets their telescopes, they go outside, they watch the moon, and then they see that not only does the meteor hit the moon, but the meteor was way more dense than they thought it would be, and it actually knocks the moon closer to Earth, and people watch the moon get closer into our orbit. And then everyone's like, okay, weird, that wasn't supposed to happen. And then the apocalypse starts. Slowly, day by day, you know, these coastal areas start flooding like fucking crazy because the moon affects the tides. It actually affects magma like activity as well, like magmatic activity, and it starts pulling magma up towards the surface of the earth a lot more, so volcanoes start erupting more, and it causes ash to cloud the earth and, you know, choke everything out. And it's not like fully apocalyptic where people are wandering the roads and they have to like, you know, go house to house looting. A couple people do that. A couple people actually get into robbing the dead in one of the later books. A couple kids, mind you, go around like robbing the dead for their supplies. So that's a huge plot point. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cool book because it was very much like realistic and it didn't go full apocalypse, but it was still like, hey, we're struggling to survive day by day. Like here's what we're eating today. I gotta find pens because I'm filling out this journal, but I don't know if pens are extinct already. That sort of stuff. Ooh, Lucas says chat, chicken rings? Chicken rings or pizza rolls? What the fuck is a chicken ring? Is that like an onion ring? But with spherical chicken? Anyway. What were we talking about? Oh, let's see. Deuce Covington says, I've been doing movie-style location scouting for a locally based set Fallout TTRPG campaign I'm dreaming of. Ooh, that'd be cool. Hell yeah. Modifius has a really solid Fallout TTRPG from what I understand. It might be... I don't know what system it uses. I'm a little skeptical on that front. But hi, Catfish, how's it going? Saying, how are you? We're doing good. Now I'm hungry that someone brought up pizza rolls. Fuck. I think I have French fries that I could warm up. this is, oh my god, every once in a while I go on a French fry binge where I will get like one of those massive bags of frozen French fries from the frozen section of the grocery store, and then just like munch off of it for the next 3 months. Like 350 degrees, 12 minutes, some fry sauce, which is really the only reason I eat fries, by the way, is as a delivery method of fry sauce. Ugh. Basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Short King Pirates, this is the first time ever catching one of your streams. Hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you so much for hanging out, and welcome to the stream. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and Outland Station says I'm building an apocalyptic fantasy RPG setting that I call Shattered Suns. I'm borrowing a core concept from the Dark Sun setting. I'm unfamiliar with Dark Sun, actually. I also saw someone mention the Dune books and saying that they're actually like really good. I don't know, they seem scary in how big they are, and I'm not one to shy away from big things, but that's a lot of book for me. Yeah, let's see. So Vlaj says the books are dense, but Dune is actually a pretty cool setting. It kind of created a lot of stuff from later settings used, like Star Wars, 40K, and Stargate. See, I just don't like any of those. I don't know. I'm not big on sci-fi. Not to the futuristic degree of sci-fi stuff. I don't know. Noster says it's been a minute since we did a Mezzoa. Could we see what animal we need to blame the next world plague on? Oh shit, yeah. Let's do it in a couple bits because it's not gonna take that long. We still have 15 minutes left. But let's see. Daniel says hello. A little while back, you gave me some advice on my potion system for D&D, and I wanted to let you know that I decided to make it based on real life chemistry, and the players are loving it. Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Especially when it comes to like reagents. Real life chemistry is so much an echo of like old school alchemy that it already naturally makes sense. So that's fucking sick. And then let's see. Ooh woo, hello. Saying, what about the Wheel of Time? Is that Brandon Sanderson? I've heard that before. The Wheel of Time. Oh yeah, it's Brandon Sanderson. High fantasy novels with Brandon Sanderson as a co-author of only the final 3 installments. Jesus, it has a role-playing game, a video game, a soundtrack album, a television fucking series with 3 seasons. Oh, okay. But is it straight up fantasy though? It has dualistic concepts of God and Satan, the foundation of Zoroastrianism, something. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of here for it. And the thing is, I kind of need, if it's high fantasy, does it have magic? I'm assuming it does. But also, does the magic make sense? Because I need magic to make sense in my world. This is what I didn't like about the Song of Ice and Fire. It didn't make sense. There were no rules. I didn't fucking get it. Even if something as simple as what Aragon has, where it's like, oh yeah, equivalent exchange. You gotta kill something to make life. That sort of stuff I can get behind. And like, I almost want to read The Magicians because I know that they got really nitty gritty with like how crunchy the magic system is and magic lore is. So that'd be kind of cool if it does. But it has to be good magic. It has to be lore magic. If it's just like, oh yeah, someone waved their hand and something happened, it's like, what the fuck do you mean someone waved their hand and something happened? What? Huh? Where are the rules, dude? Let's see. Ooh, Overthinker says Wheel of Time is the longest and densest fantasy series I've heard of. Sanderson finished it, but I prefer the stuff he worked on his own. Oh, I getcha. Oh yeah, and then Fiance, hello, saying I had to switch over from Instagram so I could focus. Oh, hi, hello. Now you can actually see like what I'm sharing on my screen. Holy shit, welcome to Twitch. Infernal also says, so you want your magic to be in lore science. Exactly. Basically, yeah. That's why I like D&D as a magic system as opposed to Powered by the Apocalypse games, because I really like the concept of it being like, here's a key set of spells. If you're a wizard, you can copy spells, but you need to do it with this specific magic ink, and you need to do it within this amount of time. Like, I love that sort of stuff. That's the core of why I like crunchy games, is because I like lore, and the more lore you hand me, the fucking better. But anyway. Oh, Outland Station says Dark Sun is an old AD&D setting. It's defiler magic that destroys the environment. See, that's cool. That stuff is sick. Anyway, let's do Metazoa real fast. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everyone over on Instagram right now, only because you guys can't participate in Metazoa, and after this we're ending anyway, but I do hope to see you guys over on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok, preferably Twitch though. That's really where the party's happening and where I'm seeing the most of chat. So hope to see you guys there. In the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out. Seriously, it's been awesome talking to y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5. Pacific. Perfect. There we go. Instagram's gone. And then Alex says, so with 5e, it also makes sense that some items can cast set spells. So like I just got these 2 daggers that when I throw both down, a wall of fire is thrown up. It's so cracked. Yeah, I love that sort of stuff. I think it's cool. Also, Helm Hamburger says, yeah, and in D&D, if you just want to know someone's thoughts, you just need a penny. or 2 copper pieces. Exactly. So like where you can and this is something that it's genuinely I never talk about it because so many other people have talked about it before and made content about it. But if you look at the like components, material components for spells, so many of them are puns or references to something. Deadass, go take a look. It's so cool. Hi, Aladiel. Thank you so much for the sub. Great to see you. Wait, what was I just gonna look up? Oh my god, Metazua. Oh, perfect. All right, guys, if you haven't played Metazua before, really simple. Basically, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna guess an animal. And in order to guess this animal, we have to go through and like basically go rank by rank. If you are, for example, there's gonna be a goal animal that we need to get to, and we're gonna go down the kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, species, and get to the exact species that this game is thinking of. It's like Wordle, essentially. So to start off, does someone want to just like throw out an animal? Cheese Prof already said shrimp, so yeah, we can absolutely do shrimp. And they get like crazy with the options because it's fucking anything. Tiger prawn will do. Ooh, or a mantis shrimp? No, let's do prawn. Because when you said shrimp, I immediately got hungry again. So what this will do is it'll tell us how close we are, what the goal animal and our guest, the tiger prawn, have in common, which is they're both pancrustacean, which is a clade, but it also includes all hexapods. So that means crabs, that means insects, I believe. That's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. But it's something with probably 8 legs or 6 legs, 8 legs, something like that. It's basically a bug. So yeah, but it's probably not. So if a prawn is a shellfish, we can pretty much guarantee it's not a shellfish. Because if it was, then it would be closer to tiger prawn. If pancrustacea is the only thing that they have in common, it's probably something else. Emperor says this is right up your alley. It really is. This is why we started doing it. I forget who brought it up at first, but it was so cool, so fucking fun to watch. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my god, Infernal says a spider. Yeah, we could do a spider. Or I almost search your name. Spider. We'll have to be a little specific, so we're gonna do a huntsman spider, because those are scary. Oh shit. Oh, it's not an insect or an arthropod. Oh, okay, so it is a pancreas. Okay, got it. It's a crustacean. I get it now. It's a crustacean. I'm dumb. I was thinking about it backwards. So someone guessed lobster. We can absolutely do lobster. Let's see. I'm also forgetting everything that I learned in college. Ooh, but it's not a decapod? Okay, decapods are a large order of crustaceans within the class Malacostricata. Malacostrica? And includes crabs, lobsters, crayfish, shrimp, and prawns. Okay, so we've ruled all of those out. We know that our target animal is not a decapod. It's not a crab, lobster, crayfish, shrimp, or prawn. But we do know that it is a pancrustacean. So it is a crustacean that is a decapod. Fucking somehow. I don't even know what that could be. Maybe more legs? Maybe less legs? Seahorse or scorpion? Let's try seahorse. I kind of want to... I think the marine thing is a good vibe. I think that's the right direction to take. But we gotta, like, work out what the fuck these guys... Okay. A seahorse isn't even close. Whoopsies. Yeah, aren't seahorses fish? Yeah, they're definitely not arthropods. So, whoopsies. Someone says hermit crab. So, hermit crab would be under decapod. Because this includes, like, all crabs, basically. That'd be too far down the line. Need to go back up here. Sea spider, I think is the same thing. Isn't that also just a crab? Sea spider's not in here. Helm Hamburger says all life leads to crabs. Not all life, but basically everything that's a decapod or a crustacean, like anything that is a lot of, yeah. A lot of related things are turning into crabs. It just happens to be efficient, dude. A trilobite. I think it has to be extant. Or sorry, not extinct. Are trilobites extinct? Hold on. No. Yeah, sorry. Isopod, we could do... Yeah, a pillbug. And see. But that might toss it in with the arthropod. Oh! Oh my god. A subclass of crustaceans containing almost all malacrustaceans. 40,000 species. Okay, the remaining subclasses of crustaceans that are not in this group are Phylocherida and possibly the Hoplocherida. I don't know any fucking Phylocheridas or Hoplocheridas off the top of my head. Horseshoe crab or snow crab. Horseshoe crab? Or, if I can spell horseshoe. Jesus. Horseshoe crab. It's loading really slowly. Oh, I do have a lot. I have a lot of tabs open, don't I? Whoopsies. Hold on. All right. Horseshoe crab is up with the Cheliceratas. Oh my god, fucking spider warning. So that includes sea spiders, horseshoe crabs, arachnids, and a number of extinct lineages. So we know it's not that either. What the fuck is this gonna be? Overthinker says this is all either Greek or Latin for me. Someone says a mollusk. Oh no, not so much. Krill? Try krill, maybe? Over on YouTube. Hi, John, on YouTube as well. Nah, krill is you. See, everything I can think of would be down here. I have no idea. A barnacle? I mean, maybe, but a barnacle would be like a would shellfish be in here? Like oysters and that sort of vibe? No, it's not. JMac over on YouTube says, not sure I was recommended this live stream, but I'm glad I did, until I heard about not liking Star Wars. But what are you about? Mainly Twitch? Lots of questions. Yeah, I do tabletop content for the most part, board games, video games, and then I mostly stream on Twitch, but I do pretty much everything. Where the fuck did that land? Barnacle. Ooh, it's under Multicrustacea. Okay. Prawns, woodlice, barnacles, copepods, amphipods, mantis shrimp, and others. Mantis shrimp are in kind of a separate category from normal shrimp. So let's try mantis shrimp. And see... I almost hit praying mantis, whoopsies. And see if it's like further up the food chain than I thought. No, what the fuck? What is happening? All insects are hexapods. Oh. This is one of the most confusing ones that I feel like we've had. Someone said scorpion. I think scorpions are Chelicerata, right? Well, they're arachnids. Let's try scorpion. Like a bark scorpion, we'll just say. For the vibe. I've never heard of this type of scorpion before in my life. Angel Lover says, I think we're in too deep. Let's do land bugs. Yeah, I guess we could try and go back to land bugs. What are we thinking? Some Kai, Sharknado, Synergy Panda, Johnny Boy, hello. Overthinker, thank you so much for the sub, by the way. And Arachnid. We do have to guess a specific kind. And Overthinker says, so it's not a dinosaur? No, it has to be alive. What about a giant water bug? Is a water bug a thing? Oh shit, yeah, water bug is a thing. I've never heard of that. Let's give it a shot. Neoptera. Oh, okay, a classification group that includes most orders of the winged insects. Okay, so we're looking at winged insects. That's really good to know. Including those that can flex their wings over their abdomens. This is different from more basal orders of winged insects, which are unable to flex their wings in this way. Gotcha. Okay, so we're looking for a winged bug, essentially. Cockroach is a solid guess. Someone asked what game is this? This is Metazoa. It's free online, really easy. Oh, okay. Not a cockroach yet. But we're down to the order, which is close. A rhino beetle? Do rhino beetles fly? Hercules beetle. Let's see. That'd be a cool one if that was the answer. That'd be sick. Oh no, but we are closer. Okay. Hometabola is what we're looking at. Also known as Endopterygota, is the superordinal clade of insects within the infraclass Neoptera that go through distinctive larval, pupal, and adult stages. Oh my god, watch it be a fucking mosquito or something. A termite. Let's try that. No, but that's a good guess. This thing looks like an oversized termite, to be honest. Someone else has said ladybug. Try that. No, moth was another guess from Yves. Oh, we're just gonna guess Atlas moth, I suppose. Yeah, Obtectomera. It's a clade of macromoths and butterflies consisting of over 100,000 species and at least 12 superfamilies. Jesus fuck. It was originally defined by a pupal stage with the 4 anterior abdominal segments fused and immobile as the sole synapomorphy. But was later, a synapomorphy is something that everything in a group of animals has in common. So for example, a synapomorphy between us and chimpanzees is opposable thumbs. So synapomorphy is just like a fancy way of saying, here's what these all have in common. So that's how they used to define butterflies and moths in this family. Now it's revised to include a modification of the dorsal edge, back edge, of the pulvillus with a protrusion in the adult. Fucking scientists, man, they can't let anything sit. Okay, so we know it's a moth or butterfly. Monarch is a very good guess. We do have to get kind of specific about it. It won't let us just say butterfly in general. Oh shit, monarch butterfly was it. Fuck yeah. All right, Danae's Plexipla. Plexipla. The monarch butterfly, or simply monarch, is a milkweed butterfly in the family Nymphalidae. Other common names, depending on region, include milkweed, common tiger. Damn, imagine being called a common fucking tiger. A wanderer, and a black-veined brown. The black-veined brown butterfly? Really? Science, I'm begging you to do better. All right, well, thank you guys so much. Infernal says, let's do that again. We went too deep underwater last time. I can't, I'm at the end of stream. I do appreciate you guys hanging out though, and thank you so much for joining. We are gonna be talking more tomorrow, possibly about apocalyptic shit, possibly about Green Hell, possibly about the Wolf Among Us, possibly about cats. Who knows? We'll just talk about whatever. You guys can come in and hang and drop your thoughts. And in the meantime, I'm gonna say goodbye to TikTok. And then for those who are on Twitch, hang tight. I'm gonna send you guys over to a friend of mine who's likely got to have the same interests as you. You'd be surprised. You might have also just seen their faces around. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope to see you on Twitch next time, so that way you can join the community a little bit more strongly, and I can see your comments a lot faster. Let's see, who's on? Shades is doing some stuff, but I feel like we raid Shadely quite a bit. We are also possibly able to raid into, oh my god, there's a lot of people on. Oh, Monday Night Magic is happening. We were talking about magic. If you do you guys want, okay, I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to do Magic the Gathering, or oh wait, hold on, there's a charity stream going on. Never mind, fuck all that. We're gonna go right into a friend who's doing a TTRPG campaign, who is raising money for basically like an immigrant justice charity. So also, this is Sean. He's a TTRPG journalist. This dude actually got into the fucking, like, oh my god, he got into the most exclusive event that I know of at Gen Con, and I was so fucking jealous. He actually got to see like the pre-2024 release like books and their like media party. It was so cool. He's also just a really nice guy. So I'm gonna send you guys over to him. Tell him I said hello, enjoy the game, and support the cause. In the meantime, I will see you guys again tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for the continuation of the streams and for the